Now, with the addition of this new fire station, residents could possibly see a decrease in their fire rating. According to officials with the Lake Commission, this empty lake could be full by the beginning of this spring. Now, the damage here at Pineville High at the field house did happen during the 6th period, which is very fortunate because if it had happened during the 7th period, according to the head coach, the freshman football team would have been inside. Friday, we brought you a story about how a video went viral showing Lottie Morgan beating her 93-year-old mom with a belt.
Yeah, Corey, so what are the mayors saying about all this?
Well, actually, I spoke to both mayors today, and New Llanos Mayor Carolyn Todd, she says her community does not want to merge with Leesville, whereas Leesville's Mayor Rick Allen said he would like for both cities to merge. And if that does happen, he believes that both mayors should step down, including himself.
Wow.
The president's defense team argued he should be acquitted of abuse of power and obstruction of justice charges, and he did nothing wrong when he asked Ukraine's leader to investigate political rival Joe Biden. Now, this F-15 served as one of the main attractions at today's event, but being a pilot is only one of the many jobs that the Guard has to offer. Only 8 days away from Christmas, and residents in Vernon Parish will need to change their holiday plans. Instead of enjoying festivities such as Christmas lights, hot chocolate, milk, and cookies, one family will be burying a loved one after Monday's EF3 tornado ripped through a mobile home. A drive down John Brewer Road can change one's perspective and make them realize how blessed they really are.
Man.
Trees on top of homes, memories lost and loved ones deceased.
Right now, they're trying to plan the funeral.
Monday morning, Sharber and his family lost 59-year-old Betty Patton, who died when a tornado ripped through her home. The loss of a loved one emotional, and the sight of destruction devastating.
This was the front porch.
This was the front porch?
Yeah.
And just like everyone else, Sharber and the Patton family are working to pick up the pieces.
Right now, it's at a standstill as far as her side. I mean, we're trying to get this sifted through to see whether there's anything salvageable before the weather takes any more of it.
Sheriff Kraft says this particular section of Vernon Parish, just east of Rose Pine, took the hardest hit.
This is just, the first day after the storm, and there's still a lot of recovery efforts ongoing.
But despite taking such a devastating blow, Kraft says these particular disasters showcase a special bond within the community.
The good thing was we got a lot of good citizens, and they all pitched in and went to helping their neighbors. A lot of folks still have days and days ahead of them as far as trying to clean up, pick up, and remove debris. And then some people have to just start all over.
The story of many residents in this area. While material can be replaced, the loss of a loved one is something that can't be undone. A lesson Sharber and the Patton family wants everyone to keep in mind over the holiday season. Now, I did speak with Mr. Sharber during a private conversation to let him know my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. He also told me that Betty was actually on the phone trying to leave her home when the incident took place.
Wow, it's just a tough loss for that family, and you can just feel the drama there. Thank you so much, Corey.
I gotta get some more today.
Wow.
Leesville resident Kathy Simon says she's fed up.
And we've had enough. Enough is enough.
Simon reached out to KLB after numerous water line breaks. Breaks that turn clear water into unrecognized brown substance.
This brown.
That kind of brown.
That brown. I absolutely do not feel safe drinking that water, and I don't think you would find anybody in the area here that would feel safe.
The water line breaks are a result of a construction project taking place in Leesville. Currently, the city is in the process of laying down new gas lines, forcing construction workers to dig right next to the water lines. The contractor over the project, CenterPoint. And despite receiving a map of the city's current water lines, construction workers continue to hit them.
I think right now that the mayor really needs to step up, and he needs to say enough, no more digging until we can get a handle on this. And, you can guarantee us no more of our water pipes are going to be broken. There's no digging, period.
But the mayor says he doesn't have the authority to stop CenterPoint.
The city of Leesville doesn't like it either. But these lines that they're installing are on a public easement.
And as a result, the subcontractor hired keeps on digging.
Okay, so the contractor works for CenterPoint. They do not work for the city of Leesville. And as I already mentioned, CenterPoint is operating within a utility easement. So they do not have to have our permission to change out those lines.
Mayor Rick Allen, who also works in the construction business, says that he believes these water line breaks are the result of construction workers taking shortcuts.
Whenever I go out, we do a lot more shovel work than most people because I simply don't want to hit lines.
While digging with your hands can be a nuisance, it's a safe and diligent way around the water lines. We reached out to CenterPoint and they provided a statement, which acknowledged 2 occasions where a water line sustained damage, citing words like a digging machine cracked a plastic water line. However, according to residents and city officials, this took place on more than 2 occasions.
If it happened one time, you can think, well, maybe it's just a mistake. 2 times, you start to wonder. 3 times, it's got a pattern going there.
In a follow-up statement, CenterPoint further explained their digging process, saying construction workers need to call before they dig, and further explains the use of non-mechanic sized equipment within 18 inches of underground facilities.
Another question too I had is every time that a water main breaks, it's the city workers who come out to fix it. And I'd like to know who is reimbursing the city.
Absolutely. If they hit a line that is clearly marked, then the city will seek restitution on that line and an estimated loss of water.
And after contacting the city office, we learned that total right now is around $8,000 and could go up in the near future. However, according to Mayor Allen, CenterPoint did bring in a new superintendent to oversee the project.
We raised concerns and immediately CenterPoint brought in us a new contact. And we're very comfortable with him. And he's doing a good job. I've seen an improvement in the communication between the city and between this contractor. And I've also seen a drastic drop in utility strike.
But in the meantime, Simon says she's still keeping her bottled water close by, because according to her, you never know when the next strike might happen.
We have that because it happens just too often.
Covering the city of Leesville, Corey Howard, News Channel 5, your local station. Tuesday afternoon, Judge Tony Bennett made a ruling in a highly publicized domestic violence case, finding the defendant, Michael Roberts, guilty of 1 felony count of domestic abuse strangulation after surveillance video caught the whole thing on tape.
What they will see is an 8.5 long minute video of me being strangled and beaten and boot kicked in my home on a surveillance system that he installed.
Jennifer Roberts shared with KLB this disturbing footage captured on her home surveillance system on March 20th, 2018, as her then husband, Michael Roberts, attacked her.
The woman who was the victim in the Leesville case came very, very close to being a homicide victim.
As a result of the attack, hospital reports show Jennifer suffered numerous injuries to the back, head, and the neck.
It's taken over 560 days to get it to trial.
And many may wonder why it took so long for the case to get to trial. The answer, prosecutors couldn't decide whether to charge Michael Roberts with a felony or a misdemeanor.
The reason why I would never drop the charges is because it was caught on videotape.
Tuesday, October 15th, in court, the defense argued the case should be a misdemeanor, saying they did not see clear evidence of strangulation. In their closing arguments, the defense attorney, Elvin Fontenot, said his client is innocent until proven guilty, and he believed prosecutors failed to provide undeniable evidence. However, in the bench trial, Judge Tony Bennett ruled against the defense, saying he did find enough evidence, citing the incident reports and saying he personally saw at least 2 occasions when the defendant pressed one of his body parts against the victim's throat.
In my case, there were 5 separate strangulations to where I lost consciousness.
Strangulation is very, very, very serious. Nobody should minimize its effects.
Deborah Faircloth works for an organization called Faith House, a community partner for the Family Justice Center here in the Cenla area. And Mrs. Faircloth assisted Jennifer in getting justice.
It's been a long, hard road, and it's a very, very important case.
The reason why this particular case is important is because the victim says she's on a mission, challenging the state's laws regarding strangulation.
The law needs to be changed in Louisiana.
Roberts says defendants and the defense attorneys have found a way around multiple laws set in place to protect victims.
The Gwynn's Law is great, but if it's not done properly, then it's not enough. They have found a way around the Domestic Abuse Act in Louisiana.
Another issue Jennifer has with the law is why did her ex-husband only receive 1 felony count, even when the judge himself found more than 1 attempt to strangle the victim. As a result, Jennifer is now in Washington, D.C., meeting with some of the most powerful lawmakers in the country, pushing for a change.
My case became personal to me because this is the way that I am showing my daughter and other women in Vernon Parish, Louisiana, to stand up and say no more.
According to a reputable national study by a couple of scholars named Chodden and Thinnes, more than 90,000 Louisiana women end up in emergency rooms and urgent care facilities each and every year to have treated injuries that they suffered at the hands of someone who has said to them, "I love you."
And for, other victims and people who may be watching this here whenever it airs, what will you tell them?
I would say to seek help. I was lucky. I got out.
Now, I did speak with Michael Roberts and his attorney and asked them if they wanted to be interviewed on camera. They declined the opportunity, and they will be appearing before a judge December 11th for sentencing. Covering Vernon Parish, Corey Howard, News Channel 5, your local station.